Hey friends, today we're gonna do something a little different. I want us to do a shading exercise. Okay, so what I want to do today is a little different. What I have here is a pre-made sketch of this woman's back, and what I want to do is together work on shading this drawing. And I want to focus here on being very gentle and making sure that the shading is very even and not grainy, or I want it to be really smooth. And this is something that I wanted to do because I kind of realized that my shading sucks. No, it doesn't suck, but it can be so much better. And I thought it'd be cool to whip out the camera and just work together on this. So, needless to say, I'm going to shade very, very slowly here. And I'll begin just applying the dark tones, and we'll see how it goes. And perhaps if it'll take a lot of time, so I might time-lapse through much of this drawing, and just so you can see the entire process and not just look at me do this for 30 minutes. So anyway, I thought it'd be nice for you to actually see what I'm working on the left here. And also it will be easier for me because it's right in front of me and not on my computer, on my screen, and so I can more easily focus on what I'm doing here. So, if you look to the left, you'll see that there is this sort of a thin strip that's brighter than the rest of the hand here. So I'm beginning with what I think is the darkest tone, and slowly building towards a brighter tone that'll merge with the right part of her hand here. Also, if you look on the left, you'll see that it's very obvious how light comes from the right here, because it's her left side of the entire back and arms that's more shaded. And so this is something important to mention. And again, I'm working very slowly. I noticed that lately my shading is kind of very grainy and doesn't seem even, and it was really annoying. So I decided I'd work on that. I think there are a few important components to properly shading in this manner when you're trying to achieve sorry, a very not necessarily realistic, like photorealistic, but more just so it looks believable. So I think the two components are, first, having great accuracy, and the second one is, and in accuracy I mean the places where you shade, which is a great challenge in itself, because in this example you can see how the back is full of bright and dark areas because of the shape of the muscles. And so this is the first thing, is to know where to shade, and the second is to actually have the control over the pencil so that it turns out the way you want it to be, in the darkness that you want, and etc., etc. I'm using a medium, I think, pencil. I'm not sure what it is on the scale of the on the official scale. I think it's close to HB, maybe. I'm not sure. But it gets fairly dark when you need, and it can stay fairly bright when you need it. So it's somewhere in the middle. Now notice the lower you go, so this thin strip of bright area sort of disappears. So here we don't have it. We can just shade all the way to the contour we just drew. Now I think what I'll do is sort of blast through more of the shading in time lapse, and I'll be back soon, and you can see me working on it more rapidly, and then leave some more for the next after the time lapse. So let's get to it, and I'll be back soon, and we'll continue this in real time. Okay, so I blasted through a lot in time lapse, and now it's time to talk for a while. I'm working on the arm here, and there is a very clear line where there are shadows and where there aren't. So it moves all across the arm, and sometimes you will get these types of things. Most of the time, though, you will see a very gradual change, but here there's a very distinct line. And in these cases, you really want to take advantage of that, because it's a great opportunity to really convey the shape, the abrupt change of direction in our arm that causes this. And sadly you can't see this here, but I will add a link, or we'll see. I'll make sure you get to see the image in its entirety somehow. Here we have a very, very dark area, because this is really on the side of the hand here that's really obstructed from light. So you want to make sure to get that fairly dark. And I'm not sure I'm very pleased with this left part here, but we'll see how it goes. And hopefully it'll look good. Here we have an opportunity to show the folds that are created when an arm goes like this. So you have these sort of folds. So you want to indicate that as well. And it's really a matter of looking at what you're drawing and seeing how light plays its part, because these are the things that are very hard to do from your imagination, hard, borderline impossible. So no matter how good you are or how much experience you have, the body is only as good in retaining the way things look. I mean, your imagination. You can't have all the information inside your brain. You really need to look at something in order to get how to draw it. And sadly, our memory is just not, I mean, unless it's an exceptional skill, someone really gifted, it's really hard to do that from your imagination. I actually read once that I don't know, some of you who are into manga, so you probably know Bleach, and I read somewhere that Tite Kubo, the creator of Bleach, is he is one of those gifted people, because I read that he actually draws everything, almost everything, from imagination, and I have no idea how he does it, but he does, apparently. He said he was asked how he creates these very cinematic battle scenes that Bleach is well known for, and he said that he kind of pictures what the action that he wants to see in the scene, and then he spins it. He sort of plays with it in his head, trying to find the perfect angle. And then when he finds the perfect angle, he just goes ahead and draws it with the people, with the action poses, with everything, just from his imagination. And I can imagine the skill required to do that. That is just so challenging. And I'm not even sure. I might have misread it, but I do remember thinking to myself, "Wow! I mean, he draws all of this from his imagination, and he may be able to do so. I'm not sure. I'll have to check it, but if it is possible, then it's very, very impressive." And he deserves to have one of the best mangas out there. It's not there's a good reason why Bleach is so popular, because his work there is just amazing. I'm not sure any of you even know this manga, but if you do, it's cool. By the way, I had my birthday yesterday, and I'll show you later on. I'll show you. I sent my subscribers. I have this newsletter that I send that's just full of drawing tips and advice. I'll add a link in the end of this video, and even maybe now. But anyway, I sent them a drawing that I did of Totoro, if you know My Neighbor Totoro, the film. So it's kind of an anime style. I'll share it here. I'll show it later on, and hopefully I'll remember because I tend to forget these kinds of things. Anyway, let's go a bit into time-lapse again, so that I can reach a more finalized version of this drawing, and I'll come back and wrap this video. So I'll see you soon. Okay, friends, just working on the hair here, which is a rather simple part because just going very dark with it, and that's it. I looked at the way the drawing turned out from afar, and I'm half pleased with it, half not. But we'll just have to work on it. So there's gonna be a lot more of these exercise with me videos, because I do need to work on that. I think the main thing here is that this should have been much darker, because if I look here and here, I can really see a striking difference. And I think it's really important in order for the drawing to really look good, I think it's super important that you have all the tones from the very super bright ones, which I do have here, and all the way to the dark ones. And I think I might work on it a little more with a more dark soft pencil here, and we'll see how it goes. And that is it, really. You see, I have a lot to work on as well, and I'd love it if you would share what you think of this. And and I said I'd show you. So yeah, as I said, it was my birthday yesterday, and I kind of worked on this thing for about 3 hours. So doing the pencils and then some watercolors, and eventually the pen and the watercolors. So yep, this was sent to my followers, to my the ones who subscribe to my newsletter. So I'll share a link in this video as well, so that you can do that too. And I share a lot of things that I don't share here, and I show a lot of my works like more raw and freshly drawn works there. So check it out, and hopefully you enjoyed this video and actually learned something from it. And I will see you in the next video. Take care.